Today we are addressing the topic of Wahdatul Wujud, which has sparked debates in the Islamic world. What is the secret that makes Ibn Arabi, whose books were banned, so dangerous? When Imam Rabbani said, "This work was written in a state of intoxication and is dangerous," what did great Islamic scholars like Ibn Taymiyyah and Bediuzzaman say about Arabi? Are the ideas of Imam Ghazali and Ibn Arabi in direct opposition? We will delve into the extraordinary insights of Ibn Arabi and explore the depths of Wahdatul Wujud. If you're ready, let's begin. Ibn Arabi is one of the foremost figures who experienced profound insights during the mystical journeys of Sufi masters. According to Arabi, the origin of the beginning lies in this sacred hadith. Allah says, "I was a hidden treasure, and I desired to be known. So I created the universe." The word "to know" in this context comes from the Arabic root muhabbet, meaning love. Thus, Allah manifests creation with love from the very beginning. The fundamental reason for the creation of the cosmos is love. Love is light, and this light is the first manifestation of affection. Arabi frequently touches upon this subject in his works and famously stated, "My religion is the religion of love." Born in 1165 in Andalusia, Arabi belonged to an Arab family. He received classical religious education from the leading scholars of his time, while also developing his Sufi abilities by attending the lodges of many sheikhs. Starting from Andalusia, Arabi traveled to almost all Islamic countries, except for Turkestan, meeting prominent figures of the scholarly and Sufi worlds, exchanging ideas with them. His travels, which he said began with a divine sign, gradually transformed into spiritual journeys, and his external discoveries deepened into the esoteric, or the inner and unseen realms. It was these inner journeys into the depths of his soul that led him to the truth of Allah and the collective consciousness. Ibn Arabi was an immensely prolific Sufi, producing a wealth of writings. It is said that at a certain point, even he lost track of how many books he had written. Through dreams and spiritual insights, he gathered knowledge, always verifying it with verses from the Qur'an and diligently putting it to paper. It is believed that he wrote between 200 and 300 works. Among these, Fusus al-Hikam and al-Futuhat al-Makkiyah stand out. Shortly, we will explore the groundbreaking ideas and revelations of Ibn Arabi within the Islamic world, many of which are based on these two works. One of Arabi's most debated views is his doctrine of Wahdatul Wujud, the unity of being. According to him, the only one who truly exists is Allah. Everything that has been created exists within Allah's knowledge and bears witness to his existence. Absolute existence belongs solely to Allah because he was present at the beginning, exists now, and will continue to exist at the end. The only true and real existence is Allah. Everything else is a secondary existence, merely appearing to exist. Ibn Arabi did not entirely deny the existence of these entities, but neither did he descend into pantheism, which is a misguided belief that everything is God. In pantheism, everything is seen as one, and, God forbid, God is considered to be everything, with all things viewed as parts of God. Although this idea may appeal to the ego, it is a dangerous viewpoint. Imam Rabbani mentioned that Ibn Arabi was in a state of spiritual intoxication. In his work, Maktubat, he writes, Ibn Arabi, while presenting the concept of Wahdatul Wujud, was in a state of intoxication, lost in remembrance and spiritual states. Therefore, what he wrote was influenced by this spiritual intoxication. According to Rabbani, such mystical experiences can temporarily distance a person from reality, causing them to see nothing but Allah. However, this state of intoxication should not lead one to deny the existence of creation or to equate it with Allah. While Rabbani was sympathetic to Ibn Arabi's spiritual states, he emphasized that his teachings were dangerous and prone to misinterpretation. A person in a state of intoxication cannot know what they are saying, and their words do not reflect the truth. For this reason, these views should be excused but not accepted as truth. Imam Rabbani continues by saying, "Those who are at the station of Wahdat al-Wujud see nothing but Allah and deny the existence of the world. However, when I reached a higher station, I saw the world and witnessed Allah's manifestation in everything. At this station, I saw Ibn Arabi behind and below." With this statement, Imam Rabbani claims that he surpassed Ibn Arabi's mystical understanding and reached his own perspective of Wahdat al-Shuhud. According to him, Ibn Arabi's concept of Wahdat al-Wujud falls short of understanding some realities. Imam Rabbani emphasizes that Wahdat al-Shuhud involves recognizing the manifestations of Allah in creation, while also acknowledging the existence of creation itself. Ibn Taymiyyah offered a harsh critique of Ibn Arabi's doctrine of Wahdat al-Wujud, but he did not directly accuse him of disbelief. While Ibn Taymiyyah viewed Ibn Arabi's ideas as harmful to the belief in Tawheed, the oneness of Allah, and contrary to the fundamental teachings of Islam, he stopped short of labeling Ibn Arabi himself as a disbeliever. Instead, he considered Ibn Arabi's teachings, especially Wahdat al-Wujud, as heretical and misguided. In his work Majmu' al-Fatawa, Ibn Taymiyyah addresses this issue, stating, "Ibn Arabi's understanding of Wahdat al-Wujud can lead to the conflation of Allah with his creation, which is entirely against the Islamic concept of Tawheed. Such a doctrine can mislead people into deviance." According to Bediuzzaman, Ibn Arabi is a miracle of Islamic sciences. He further states, "Muhyiddin Ibn Arabi himself is a guide and is accepted. He is on the right path and his faith is sound. However, not every book he writes serves as a guide or reveals the truth. In Islamic and faith-related matters, he often goes beyond the proper bounds, acting contrary to the principles of Ahl al-Sunnah wal-Jama'ah. Some of his statements, when taken literally, can imply misguidance or disbelief. However, he himself is far from misguidance and disbelief. He is a believer and a monotheist. Because sometimes a statement may seem to express disbelief, but the person who says it is not a disbeliever." Said Nursi then quotes a statement from Ibn Arabi regarding his works and how they should be approached. Ibn Arabi's words are as follows: "Let those who are not of us and do not understand our station refrain from reading our books. It will harm them." Yes, in this time, reading Muhyiddin's books, especially concerning Wahdat al-Wujud, is harmful. In Risale-i Nur, Sayyid Nursi adds, "Ibn Arabi is a great figure who has delved into the depths of the spiritual world, but some of his views, particularly Wahdat al-Wujud, are not positions that everyone can understand or experience. Those at this station perceive apparent existences as if they do not exist." Said Nursi regarded Ibn Arabi as a scholar of the spiritual realm, but stressed that his views could easily be misunderstood, and not everyone is at the level to grasp Wahdat al-Wujud. He advocated Wahdat al-Shuhud as a safer and more comprehensible path. Although Imam Ghazali lived before Ibn Arabi, He laid the groundwork for some of the mystical thoughts that would later emerge. However, Ibn Arabi's philosophy of Wahdatul Wujud does not completely align with Imam Ghazali's ideas. Ghazali emphasized the distinction between Allah and His creation, cautioning against misinterpretation of spiritual experiences. In his work, Ihya Ulum al-Din, Imam Ghazali highlights the potential for mystical experiences to be misunderstood and stresses the importance of linking them to sound belief. Sufi practitioners may feel as though they see Allah in their spiritual experiences, but this does not mean that Allah and creation are the same. Allah possesses absolute existence, while creation exists as His work. Ghazali's focus was on maintaining a clear understanding of the difference between creator and creation, advocating for caution in interpreting spiritual states and experiences. Yes, it appears that Ibn Arabi reached such a high spiritual station that he could see nothing but Allah, perceiving His presence everywhere he looked. In this state of spiritual intoxication, he wrote about these experiences, and most Islamic scholars agree that he should not be accused of disbelief. Rather, they argue that he should be excused for the effects of this spiritual state. For instance, if someone were to take medicine, lose themselves, and utter words of disbelief, they would not be considered a disbeliever. This is because they entered a temporary state of intoxication due to the medicine, and their mind was not fully present. Similarly, Arabi, while lost in remembrance, dhikr, became overwhelmed by the manifestation of divine light and spirituality, unable to perceive anything else. For example, during the day, stars still exist, but are not visible. Now, if someone were to say, "There are no stars," what would we say? In Arabi's case, we could explain that he lived through a prolonged day without night, and for a time was unable to see the stars. This analogy helps to illustrate his unique spiritual state. Muhyiddin Ibn Arabi is undoubtedly a believer with complete faith. However, some of his words, when taken at face value, might seem to suggest disbelief. These statements require interpretation, and understanding their true meaning can be difficult. Therefore, it is often considered safer not to read his works, especially by those without sufficient knowledge. Even today, every book, field of study, or area of knowledge has a specific audience and requires a level of expertise. Only those who possess a certain background and understanding in that particular field can truly benefit from it. Not everyone can grasp or gain from these writings, and, in fact, it may be harmful to some. We should assess Ibn Arabi's works in this light. In fact, due to the potential harm these writings could cause, some Ottoman sultans, according to Ibn Abidin, banned the reading of Ibn Arabi's works. Ibn Abidin also mentions the following legal ruling. Publishing or distributing his book Fusus al-Hikam is prohibited because it contains numerous issues that can lead to disbelief. Some groups, working to extinguish the light of Islam, have also made many additions to this book. For this reason, we adopt the concept of Wahdat al-Shuhud rather than Wahdatul Wujud. We believe that making such statements without attaining the necessary spiritual rank could indeed be an act of disbelief. Ibn Arabi, although a great sheikh, was not a prophet, and we believe he may have realized this error after his passing. We would love to hear your thoughts and invite you to share your comments below so that we can engage with your insights. See you in the next mysterious and intriguing video. Please subscribe to our channel and like the video as a token of appreciation for our efforts. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.